Go ahead, put that on your big old head.
Let's see what a bit.
72.5 on the bar, 380 pounds.
How you doing, man?
I'm pretty good. How about you?
Good.
Justin Jackson, you're on deck. Jonathan Richard, you're in.
Yeah, there's really some pretty impressive lifts here going on here today.
What have you seen so far today that's really kind of fired you up a little bit?
It's got to be Brandon Allen.
Yeah.
It's got to be Brandon Allen. You know, watching him train, we've texted back and forth throughout his training cycle. Just he's really helped me out a lot, you know, some tips and things like that. So watching him go out there and, you know, put all the hard work into action, it's really impressive.
Yeah, it is, huh?
Let's get this Roy.
The sheer size of him, too.
Every year you just
Yeah, no doubt. That's why I thought we were close last year, but then I looked at it, well, never mind.
Never mind. You're competing tomorrow, correct?
Yes, I'll be lifting in the 275 class tomorrow with sleeves.
What's your goals tomorrow?
Way to stick with it. The lift
I'd like
is good.
hopefully
Nice
finish
job,
with
Roy.
between a 782 and 804 squat. Anything over 501 on bench this go round will be great. Then I'd like to hit at least a 733 to 738 deadlift. So I'd like to hit, you know, 2001 would be a PR. So anything above that I'll be happy with. But I'm looking between a 2020 and 2050 total probably.
You've had a pretty good training cycle preparing for this, right?
I really have. It's been my best training cycle so far that I've had. I mean, my body weight's been up. I feel more solid. My squat, I feel more powerful. Everything, I think, is starting to click a little bit more.
Have you tried something different with your programming or reached out to
Platform
somebody?
is ready for Justin.
Getting photo bombs, video bombs over here.
The biggest thing I did different this time with my squat was I trained for over half my training cycle in the Olympic squat shoe, the heeled shoes. And then I got out of them probably about 7 weeks ago and went back to the flats.
Why did you do that? Put more work into your quads?
I wanted to have more quad activation with those. It also it helped me keep my chest up more. And my technique changed, but with the flat shoes, I actually feel more powerful and stronger. And so I try to combine the two and went back in it and just try to hit it together.
Yeah, it worked.
That was the biggest issue for me. I hit an all-time PR my last heavy squat. So I think if I don't hit one tomorrow, then it's all on me.
Intervening for Justin.
You can't do a whole lot of stuff like that with the bench, though. The bench
No,
is what it is, huh?
the bench is what it is. You know, I get no sympathy from any powerlifter at this point in time at the end of a training cycle. So you can't say anything about being banged up or hurting or anything like that. So it is what it is.
It seems like the benchers, especially this weekend so far, they're either really good or they're just a mile ahead of everybody else. There's
Right.
nothing in between.
No. The exciting part about tomorrow is I found out, you know, Garrett Griffin, I think he'll be benching tomorrow.
That's good.
So yeah, well, it kind of screwed up my plan because I was going to have him bench for me.
Yeah.
So it didn't work out.
A lot of people would take this bench and put it in their squat or deadlift category.
I thought about that too.
You're representing Iron Rebel, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
What brought you over to Iron Rebel? What was it that you said, you know, I need to be with that?
I guess I got with them right before they changed their name to Iron Rebel in the transition process from Rhino. I actually was using all their products before, you know, before they brought me along, and I mean, I just think they're the best going. I think they're absolutely the best. I was telling Garrett a while ago, I actually still squat with my Anaconda, the original pair of wrist wraps that they gave me. Yeah. It's not broke, don't fix it. So the Velcro still works. So the quality's good. And I really like their knee sleeves. The knee sleeves that came out, I really like those.
Now, did you say you're going to squat in sleeves tomorrow?
Yes, I'll squat in sleeves tomorrow.
Do you do any training in knee wraps?
I do zero training in knee wraps. I'm too lazy and they hurt too bad.
But you do,
Already.
I've worn knee wraps 3 squat attempts my whole life. And I was trying to get ready for the San Jose Fit Expo, I think it was 3 or 4 years ago, and it was classic raw only. And so I tried to wear them, and it just didn't work out for me. So I called Steve and said, hey, can I lift without them? And he's like, BJ, you do know everybody else is wearing them, right? And I said, yeah, but it's not working out for me. So I've never competed with them. I've had 3 squats, and when I say I don't mean sessions, I mean actually 3 squat attempts with knee sleeves, knee wraps. And now I've got a few goals that I want to hit in sleeves, and after that, I wouldn't mind trying to maybe make the switch to wraps. Because as powerlifters, I think it's, we're all on the same thing. We all want to lift the most weight possible, and we know that wraps will help you lift more weight.
Right.
So,
but with the more weight comes, especially in the squat, more pressure on the bicep tendon, more pressure on the shoulder.
All right for Kevin. Lift is good. 3 white lights. Nice job, Kevin.
It's one thing to put the wraps on to have
Ready
the
now
squat go up, but it's another to not be
bench
concerned
press.
about what that would do to the joints that have the most pressure on.
right, it would also affect your bench press because, now I have to train with the cuffs and the sleeves all the time now. So, a lot of people think automatically that, hey, my elbow problem's coming from benching, but it's usually coming from the squat, especially if you're a low bar squatter.
Yeah, especially. It's working on that joint.
And I've been that guy whose mobility plays a big issue.
Yeah.
And the stretching part of training, that takes up some time and doesn't feel good anymore. So I don't do that like I should, like I'm supposed to. So if I would, take more care of that, I think I'd be better off.
So going forward after this meet's done tomorrow, what's on your radar?
I'll be doing the cage at the Arnold in March.
Uh-huh.
I'll be doing that. I'll be squatting in that one. Then in April, I plan on trying to do the Texas State meet. It's a USPA meet.
Yeah.
And then I would like to do USPA Nationals in July in Vegas.
So you like the USPA? You don't mess around with any other federations, do you?
No. I like the USPA. The judging's fair. I don't want to say it's strict. I mean, it's like it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
It bugs me when people say, hey, well, they were strict this meet. They're not strict, they're just abiding and following the rules. They're enforcing them. If that's strict, then I guess it is what it is.
But they're consistent.
Exactly, they're very consistent. I like to pride myself on squatting to depth, breaking parallel every time. We were talking about a while ago, and I can honestly say I've never, now knock on wood, things may change tomorrow, but I've never been called for depth on a squat. And I think, lifting in the USPA, should get a lot of credit for that because I know that you can't get away with it. So there's no sense trying it.
Now going in, now watching these guys in your weight class and in the weight class above you, bench, does this fire you up a little bit?
It does, it really does. And that's why, a lot of people say, well, hey, why don't you go back to the hotel, rest up, sit down. I was like, I'm sitting on my fat butt anyway, eating over here, watching this. It just adds a little extra fuel and, just helps feed the fire a little bit more.
Yeah, these are the big guys. These guys are battling. These are their 242s and 275s and 308. There's one weight. I don't know if Edward McKinnis will stay in it or not because he bombed out.
Right.
But he might stay in it. But Bennett and David are going to square off again.
Yes. It's
all right. 180 kilos.
With bench press, you can be anybody. That's the good thing about powerlifting. I mean, you can't hide, you can't lie from it. It's kind of self-explanatory. It reminds me of track. You just get beside each other and you go at it head to head, and it just comes out in the wash.
Lift is good. 3 white lights. Nice job, Brandon. 205K to the bar for Tyler. 451 points.
He said we got his good side.
On deck is John and David. This is Junior is in the hole.
Tell you, David Ziske, he cut down at the 242s.
I know.
I was like, wow. I went 10 hours without eating yesterday, and I thought I was going to die. So.
I've had maybe 2 meals in the last 2.5 days, and I'm like, this is cutting weight.
Yeah, this just clarified that I'll never cut. I'll never cut for this.
Temps are huge. Platform ready.
It's really funny. I remember being here 2 years ago, helping a friend compete, and now watching it, it seems like all the 220s and 242s are all starting mid-4s and their bench high 4s now. Where 2 years ago was, low 4s, mid-4s, maybe now everybody's going.
I was talking to John Rivas a while ago, and that's what we were talking about. Used to the 2,000 total was the holy grail for, the higher weight classes. Now everybody from the 198s to 220s up are hitting 2,000-pound totals raw. Sleeves or wraps. So it's just gotten, people's strength level has just gotten ridiculous.
McKinnis is in the hole.
I watching the battle in the 242s because it was with John Rivas missing his second and third squat. Everybody kind of closed the gap on him a bit. I know he's a good bencher, but it's gonna the 242s are gonna come down to.
It's gonna be close.
Platform ready.
And then watching Brandon and David benching the fives like most guys benching the threes is ridiculous.
They bench what most people squat.
Yeah. They're fully committed to all three lifts.
They really are. I mean, you know, a lot of lifters, you know, have one great lift. I mean, they're both very solid, very sounding, great in all three, not just one.
And they don't mind missing meals either.
No, that's what, you know, I was talking to Brandon. He sent me a picture the other morning. I think it was like 8 o'clock in the morning my time. So it's probably 6 o'clock his time. He told me he's on his second meal.
Good for
So-
3 white lights. 215K to the bar.
So I was like, well,
74
okay.
pounds for David Ziske Jr.
And that's like everybody talks about, you know, I can't gain weight. Well, you got to eat.
Is Brandon.
David Ziske going with 474 on the bar. Opening attempt for 474.
That's impressive.
And the 242s.
Very impressive.
I like watching benchers, not bench specialists, but full power guys bench.
right,
I like watching all the
platform ready
different
for
types
the
of benches these
30-year-old
guys
from
have.
Manteca,
Yes.
Some of them are
California.
very flat.
Sporting
Some of them have
well-developed
full arms.
deltoids, all components of that shoulder.
It's really weird to see how people
Anterior,
differ in the
medium,
bench
and
technique.
Yes.
posterior delt development.
Yeah,
Let's see what he does with
Whenever
this
I have
other.
trouble with mine, that's why I started going through and trying to study in everyone's bench technique and things like that, see what I can try to steal from them. If it's an arch, I'm out on that one, though.
Look at the speed on that one.
Yeah, that looked like a last warm-up.
Junior. Loading up 227.5 for Edward. Brandon is up second and David is third.
Taking notes because it's going to come down to the wire. I look around and I start seeing the big guys come out and then the crowd starts coming back over again. It's like, it's got to fire Bill Kazmaier up.
Oh, I know it.
Standing over there salivating watching the big guys live.
Sure brings back a lot of memories.
It does. And then people going over there showing him respect too. It's cool.
Yes.
A lot of Texas powerlifters here, huh?
We brought a lot from our state this time. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Where do you train at?
I train at Team Swole Athletic Performance Center. It's in Humble, Texas. So we train. It's a gym there. It's a private gym. So I used to train at the field house in my high school where I worked. But Alex Barajas, he's the owner. He gave me an invite. Came in. You know, they've got competition benches, bars, deadlift platform. So the atmosphere is totally different. Everybody's like-minded, going for the same things. So it's up my training a lot.
Nice push.
It's really helped me out.
So half the battle is training, the other half is learning.
237.5.
Yes. Yes, I agree, because I mean the atmosphere is huge.
23.
It's huge. I mean, you know, every day, you know, I get through with work, I'll go in, you know, everybody will be shutting down, but you know, he'll stay in. My teammates, they'll stay in, they'll be through their workout and they'll stay, make sure I get my big lifts, and they help me out, and so they just keep the atmosphere going all the time.
There's a certain gym etiquette to that, to stick around and make sure people that need the big lifts taken care of, they're there for them.
Yes. They, you know, and we got a group of 8 of them coming down, flying out from Texas to watch also.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's pretty awesome. The support's unreal. Support is really unreal.
Here's Brandon Allen,
523.
523. Let's see if he draws first blood.
Wow.
Lift is good. 3 white lights for the performance of Brandon Allen's opener. Good job, Brandon.
Yeah, that was fast.
Low to the bar, 242.5.
That was fast.
534.6 pounds for David Douglas.
Well, here's David.
I don't know if it means anything, but okay.
At the completion of this opening attempt, there'll be an additional
534.
3 minutes added to the clock.
There's 11 pounds. He's down 90 pounds basically after the squat.
I couldn't remember what it was after the squat.
So let's see if David tries to
set the tone here on bench.
David Douglas from Palmdale, California. David served on at Camp Pendleton.
David's an awesome guy.
You know anything about Camp
I really like and
Pendleton?
respect the work he does with
It's the
Relentless.
home of the M1 Abrams tank, the United States' most sophisticated tank. I'm making a
Why don't
tank
you walk me
analogy.
through what you see?
Let's go, David.
Steady hand out. Pretty fast too.
Lift is good.
What do you think he's thinking right now? Like, oh yeah, now,
Now we're coming back. Now we're settling things
There
back
were
down.
a lot of lists where if you were a
I bet Brandon's sitting over there waiting to see what David tells him so you can tell him what he wants to tell him too.
Going. That's the E.
This is where the sport comes in involved.
Guys took those openers.
I saw
All right,
David just walk
185
right
on
past
the
Brandon.
Brandon.
And look
Yeah.
Tyler on deck.
He's
John
like,
is
yeah,
in the
what's
hole.
up, man? That was my turn. Everybody wants to see a good match.
Brandon
It's
Keeper
gonna
taking
Yeah.
his dad
It's gonna
out
be
to
great.
Outback Steakhouse tonight.
They definitely will not disappoint
It's gonna be
anybody.
a
I
good time
promise you
later
that.
on, sir. I'm going to hold him accountable. He went to great lengths for me to do this for you. He has to pay
The impressive
for
thing,
you.
the style with both their bench presses, you know, they're not up real wide.
Let's get it now.
You can tell they're in close. So I mean, seem to be a lot more powerful.
Chip.
I've always liked getting to a meet the day before I've competed if it was a 2-day event and watching and kind of
Sorry about that interruption, Brandon.
Well, that's what I told Brandon. Actually, I said, hey, I'm gonna be back there. It's gonna be like a little fanboy, taking notes and walking around, kind of seeing what y'all do. You know, your warm ups, how you know, step by step, how you do things through meets. You know, because you can always learn and get better. And with these caliber lifters, you can always learn
You know,
something.
you just get a bunch of power lifters together and other people in a venue such as this, and
so damn
whether you
strong.
like it or not, your
It's-
testosterone rate's going to go up.
He's
It's just
100
the
miles
proof of
an
it.
hour. And he's going to crash 100 miles an hour, but it's going to be a hell of 100 miles
Exactly.
an hour.
It'll be a fun ride
What's
regardless.
amazing lifting is
I lifted with
it's
him
causing some hair growth.
4 years
Where I
ago.
haven't had
He
any
was
in
competing
like
at
10 years. I
275.
can
He was
feel
only
it.
like 260.
Literally.
Right.
Now he's 330, 340.
He and I talked about that the other night also. I was like, man, I said, you just like I said from last year to this year, it's just the pure mass he's put on, and it's
Rebel presenting the
you know, and it's solid. It's solid.
It is. Because if I was
world's
Yes.
strongest sport.
He also sent me a picture. You know, he's got me eating a container of cinnamon rolls every other day now. I figured if it works for Brandon, hell, it might work for me too.
you
Then,
got little ones at home, you got to run around. And
yeah, well, see, so I cook two things of cinnamon rolls. I let them have one, then I keep one.
Brandon probably makes two for himself.
Well, they said they were up to, I think, a can of biscuits and a bowl of gravy too. So
His poor girlfriend. She probably works
she is a trooper, I tell you. You know, that's what me and Garrett were talking about a while ago. He's like, well, does he wrap himself? I said, no, Jenny wraps him. And he's like, wow, you know. And I said, she lifts him off on bench. I said,
Snaps
it's
around,
amazing.
gets out of line.
Probably so.
They're good people. I'm really
Really
glad,
awesome.
I'm really glad Brandon and David decided that they would get this going.
Yes, and you know the interaction they had back and forth, it did nothing but, you know, bring more unity in the sport, I think.
Yeah.
You know, they went back and forth, but it was all in good fun and jokes and things like that. No, it wasn't any negative in any way.
It's good to see that again. I mean, you've been around a long time. It's been a while since we've seen some good
Right.
friendly
Yes.
competition attitude.
Yes.
I know,
You know-
I saw that like a lot of the Texas lifters that you don't train with, but you know, have reached out to you and said, you need anything while you're here. You know, that's cool to see
Yes.
that people support each other in this sport.
Yes.
You know, on and off the platform.
It really is, you know, and that's what, you know, the first time I got into powerlifting, the first meet I went to, it was just the camaraderie and the unity. Just, you know, you got a guy that you're competing against, and you're sitting there cheering for him, hoping that he gets his last lift, even if it beats you.
Come on.
That's just, I mean, you got to want better for the next man too.
They knew they were coming to spawn and load, but they had no idea they were coming to spawn and load the best of the best of the best.
You had some stuff you were into
So they're
before
going triple
powerlifting.
time.
I was a poor man's bodybuilder, I guess.
All right, let's get behind Brandon.
I was the guy that tried to do all the bodybuilding workouts, but still looked like crap. I just, yeah, I didn't know what I was doing. I was trying to figure out why the hell they didn't work for me. But no, I didn't know. And the funny thing, how I got started into it, I had a student that powerlifted for us. He went off to college and he came back and he said, "Coach, can I train with y'all while I'm here for the summer?" And I said, "Well, sure." He ended up staying, and he said, "Well, hey, we need to do a meet together." I said, "Man," I said, "if I do," I said, "I'm lifting raw." I said, I don't want to need gear. I said, "We're going to get a trainer." He said, "Why don't you work around our workouts for us like you did in powerlifting for the school?" And I said, "I've got to have somebody hold me accountable." And so I looked out and I found Josh Bryant. Got with him, and I guess that was about 5.5 years ago. Been with him ever since. Did a meet. My first meet, I think I totaled 1740. Didn't have a clue what I was doing. And then it was after 3 months of training, powerlifting with him. And so I've just been hooked on it ever since. I try to get in 2 to 3 meets a year since I coach football. Yeah. So usually July to January is kind of out of the, July to December is kind of out of the picture. Yeah. So
you just try to train, maintain.
I try to train, let that be my off-season time, and get by the best I can.
Good. I thought maybe the model would have called it.
Right, yeah.
It
looked, yeah.
It looked like it.
It looked like the ball had a slight hesitation, but it might. Evidently, it didn't dip any.
David will be on deck.
The judges got a good eye. They've got a lot better eyes than I've got for it. See, John Rivas is unreal. He's a very impressive lifter. Watching his training videos, and some of the stuff he was doing was just unreal.
Platform is ready.
It's amazing. And such a humble, soft-spoken guy, too.
John is our lifter.
Pretty laid back.
Yeah, really.
Probably one of those inner beasts you don't want to poke.
You probably want to make him too angry.
Look at the arches.
Yeah, that's impressive.
They really trying to drive his feet hard into the ground. He's got that range of motion down.
Sure does.
All right, three white blank
Made that look easy.
Is that a second attempt also? Wow.
On that one, good job. Loading now 227.5
Shorter
for
you can
David,
make that range of
501
motion, the
pounds.
higher you can get your chest.
Exactly.
Edward is on deck. Brandon is in the hole.
Yeah, I need to start working on that.
Quick shout out to our.
I think you got to
friend
stretch,
Steve
do some cool
Goggins,
stuff like that
who's one of
for
our competitors here today. You talk about a visionary. Wow. You should do some YouTube in there.
501 on the bar. 501.
Let's go, David.
There's quite the matchups going on in the 242. He's a big guy.
He's very large. Looks a whole lot bigger than 242.
He's out, he's 242.
Nah, he's playing the 260s today.
Probably not going to come
All right,
back
no,
to that
that's
either.
good for David to come back.
Yeah,
and
that's-
finish that one up. Right
no,
now,
that's tough.
242.5 for
Because
What would you do if you saw that in your coaching and
On
what would
deck
you
is
tell him on his
going to
next
be Brandon, and David Douglas is in the hole.
What did you see?
It looked like when he got to the top of the transition from the chest to the triceps, I would try to really drive off my chest more and try to let that momentum carry you through, because I mean your triceps can only do so much for you at that point in time, and I would just try to really drive off and just push back as far as I could and let momentum carry me through. I'm a big believer in getting enough speed off my chest. Same thing with deadlift and squat. Just come out of the hole as fast and hard as you can and try to let that carry you through. They
All right, intervening for Edward, safety. He'll have an opportunity to push that on his serve, but he's in there with insurance.
Not essentially, not on the way down, but on the other way going up, like out of the hole.
Las Vegas, Nevada, Allen. David Douglas is on deck.
we work on a lot of speed bench. You know, sub maximal weight with maximal effort with sub maximal weight. You know, I don't use a lot of bands and chains.
Go west side.
I mean, we don't. We do it some, but we don't do it a lot. We
Work
just
on technique and
yes.
form.
And then I pound a lot of back.
A lot of back.
Do a lot of back. I actually do back every workout.
You have like an exercise or two.
We would do. I tell you, we're like on. Let's see. Make sure I don't screw any of it up. On my bench day, we'll do rows. We'll do a row movement. On my squat day, I'll do pull-ups. And then on my deadlift day and my bench accessory day, we'll do another type of row movement. I'm a big fan. We started lately the seal rows, like where you lay flat down on the bench with your feet up, and I do dumbbell or barbell seal rows. I really like those.
551. 551 for Brandon. 551.
Tremendous push.
Wow.
Nice job.
570.
Taking away the 250
Definitely.
kilos for David Douglas.
Definitely.
Just took the lead back again.
Yes.
Remember, we're
That
going to have an
was
extra 3 minutes.
that was fast.
3 minutes after this.
Very explosive.
And then Brandon's going to come up.
Yes.
Brandon.
He's got so much power. He's just coiled up like a spring and just explodes.
Hey, while we're waiting for the bar to get loaded, I also want to compliment our friend.
being trained by Chad.
Yeah, he is. That's what he told me. He said that he and went to Chad this training cycle, and he says made a big difference.
Because she's lifting off nice for her.
Having a coach.
If you do something wrong to your wife or your girl, they give you a
It seems
bad
for me it's been like night and day.
I can tell you that.
Now I've been with Josh for 5.5 years, but before that, I mean, sometimes you just gotta go in and do this and that. When you have a coach, you're held accountable. You have to hit this, you have to hit that. They lay it out for you. A lot of times you don't have to do any thinking. You just get to go in there and lift. And so I think that's a big thing in lifting. If you're thinking about it, you know, that's what I tell my players all the time. A cloudy mind makes slow feet. So if you're thinking, your muscles aren't reacting. That's just two.
Lift here's good. Green, white, flight.
573.
Yeah, it's going to come down close on bench too. And his was more weight. Brandon was faster throughout the whole lift, but that had a little stalling in the middle, and then once he got through that, it exploded.
They can't really afford to miss lift.
No, that's the only thing that may slow it down. Is he's going to have to be, you know, very, very meticulous on his attempts.
Now, I was going to say, I'm glad you came over because getting to watch this flight lift, some of the bigger guys
Yeah.
fire you up a little bit. For the
Oh,
time.
definitely, definitely. It's just, you know, you get to watch them in training and see them on videos and things like that, but when you're here in person, when it's all on the line, it's just a totally different experience.
Tiny Meeker, one of the big three here
So
today.
Iron Rebel,
Our buddy Ryan Canali and
they
of course
sponsor
Scott
you,
Mendes
right?
Yes.
and Tiny Meeker.
Here they essentially give you.
Yes.
Tiny's a
They take care of
25-time
you.
They take care of me. They're the best. I can't say enough about Shelly, Steve, Ed. I mean, they're just, you know, great company, but better people on top of that.
A big shout out.
So, like, if people get a hold of you and they say, you know, what gear do you recommend you push some Iron Rebels with?
Definitely.
Stand by the product,
Definitely.
support the product.
Definitely.
You've been with any other companies before Iron Rebel?
No, now I've used other companies' wraps, wrist wraps, and elbow sleeves, knee sleeves. Now, it was before I was with Iron Rebel, and then I had to use other sleeves until Iron Rebel came out with theirs. And I mean, you know, I full-heartedly believe that Iron Rebels are the best. They really are.
Great product.
They're great. You know, they stand by it. You know, just whenever. This may not mean a lot to a lot of people, but Shelly still does it now too. But whenever you'd order something, she'd write, you know, a little thank you on there and stuff. It takes time to handwrite it out. You know, just a lot of companies don't think about doing little stuff like that. So even if I send in an order now, I still get that back. So it's, you know, it's pretty neat.
That's cool. to come down to a lot of people placing with
So
this
at the
now.
conclusion
Yeah.
of our bench presses, we'll take 15 minutes to prep for deadlift.
You got to make sure
That'll
they
be a great
make some real smart
opportunity
attempts at this point in time.
Get some water and rehydrate, as well as see the many
Actually,
other
this
amazing
training cycle,
competitions
284
here
was the
at this
heaviest
venue
I'd ever gotten. I want to say it was Wednesday. I was 282. I cut out a couple of meals and I weighed in at 272. Last year I weighed in right at 275, but I think I had a lot of water from the plane ride, and I didn't take that into consideration, so I had to spit for a little while. But this time I kind of planned it out a little bit better, and so I knew I'd be under. And so I've just been trying to eat every 2 hours to make sure I get something
Once
in me.
again, a reminder, if you
How does
order
that
one of the
affect-
commemorative meat
how does
t-shirts,
your
you can
body
pick
weight
them up.
affect
They
your
are
lifting?
to the
When you lose weight,
audience
does it
that's
affect
left
your
there.
bench?
Right
When I lose weight, it affects my squat,
From
it affects my bench.
Academy here in
They both go down.
California. Thanks for coming
And my
to Charlotte.
deadlift actually will go up some.
We've got
my gut's not in the way, so I can get down a little bit lower.
Ensure
Are you
that
conventional
you get
deadlifter?
Yeah, I'm a conventional deadlifter, yes.
So, the bigger you get, the more your hips increase in size, the more your stomach
It,
increases in size, the
it
harder
decreases my leverages, and so I have a harder time getting down, and so I actually pull less. And then until I get used to it, until I get accustomed, then it starts going back up. And then now when I'm heavy, my squat and bench, they both go up.
ready for Brandon.
Now I feel like I have a bigger base, a bigger core. I can push against my belt better. I just feel more solid, more stable. I had a buddy a long time ago. He always said he didn't feel stable if he was under 300 pounds. We used to kind of make fun of him, like, and you 300 pounds, you talking about not feeling stable. But, you know, it's kind of like, I know what he's talking about now. So on squat days, if I wake up and I'm light, or lighter than I want to be, then I make sure I just cram food all day.
Nice job. 3 white lights. Good job. Now loading 215 kilos, 474 pounds for Tyler. On deck will be David, and then John Rivas is in the hole.
Now tomorrow competing, what's going into your body while you're competing? Are you
I'll eat,
eat anything?
yes, I will. I'll eat, I'll have a few peanut butter sandwiches, peanut butter jelly, some bananas, some trail mix. I'll drink BCAAs, a carb drink. I'll drink Tort from Universal. It's got a lot of carbs, simple sugars. And then I'll have a lot of pre-workout. I'll probably have some Pedialyte. So I just really try to stay hydrated and just keep my carb level up. That's like today, after I weighed in, I'm not worried about protein. I'm just worried about my carbs, my fluids, because I'm not gonna put on any more muscle in one day. So I just need to get, you know, if you lose weight fast, we all know it's water weight. So I just gotta replenish those fluids that I lost. And so that's the way I try to look at it. I may try to steal me some yogurt and pineapple from Brandon.
227.5 on the ground for David. John will be on deck.
Yeah, he gave me that tip a while back. You know, it's got protein and simple sugars and fats in it, so it kind of helps out.
Helps keep your blood pressure up.
Right, exactly. It'll keep me breathing heavy.
This poor sleeping machine must be like run down car motor.
That's what they're talking about, the Fitbits, talking about your sleeping patterns and things like that. So I don't really think I want to see one. It's probably not the best.
Platform ready for David.
Let's go, David.
Come on, David.
Let's see how he comes back to this one. See this the last
Yeah.
one. His arms tucked in a little bit more and tries to
Yeah, look, yeah, keep it from flaring at the top, then maybe
get a little bit
that'll
more
keep his tricep in there. Seemed to stall at the same spot. Part of that, you know, he did hold it for a long time last time on the second rep too. So.
Now loading 227.5, the same weight for John Rivas. Brandon Allen is on deck.
The thing about John too, it's impressive.
David Douglas
He doesn't
in
look
the
like
hole.
a guy that he cuts down to 242. Not saying that he doesn't look like he's not a big muscular guy. He looks like he just walks around.
Right, he doesn't have the bloat going on today.
Platform is ready.
That's the key. Competing even if the weight is trained out.
And that's what a lot of people mess up, because even if they, if they don't make a big cut, like a 10-pound cut's really not a lot for me, because exactly. I mean, I'll lose 7 pounds in my sleep. So I don't know what I'm doing in my sleep, but I don't know what happens. But but the thing is, if you try to put too much back in and you're too heavy and you're not used to feeling, your belt fits different, because everything changes, and so you're not used to that either.
Okay, intervening for John's safety. John also into with what we like to call insurance, so well pushed second attempt. Two big lifts remain. Take the bar to 260 kilos for Brandon Allen.
Yeah, I was talking to him, and I think whenever he missed it, he held it down at the bottom a little bit. I think it, probably put a little wear and tear on his back, probably.
He's coached by Steve Goggins.
That's like a while ago. It took me probably 10 or 15 minutes. I was standing there by Steve, and it took me that long to say hi to him. Not because I wasn't trying to interrupt anything. I had to build up the courage.
The first time I met him, I walked right up to him, and he looked at me, and I looked at him. I didn't know what to say. He goes, "You're a lot taller than I realized." Well, thanks, Steve. Thanks for taking the ice.
Yeah, no kidding. So 573, yeah, that's what you called.
Lift is good. Oh, well.
I know I sound like a broken record, but that was fast.
Nice. To the bar, 267 and a half
total
kilos.
already.
Huge.
937 and 573 total already.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's at a 1511 subtotal.
Yeah. Without the deadlift.
Most people like to hit that on three lifts. Wow.
That's why I'm scared.
I'll just take his openers for my thirds tomorrow. See if Steve will let me do that.
No, you don't have to come tomorrow.
Yeah, that's very impressive. 589.
Platform ready.
Come on, Dave. He does. He's a big-time competitor.
This won't be the last time.
No, I think this is just getting